out fresh this week was The Father. Finally, like the last movie that hadn't gotten a wide release that was up for serious Oscar consideration. Hit movie theaters, select movie theaters on Friday. And we decided, or we thought about it finally, like what, Friday night, that we should maybe think about going to see this. Well, I couldn't get to the theater, so I'm not going to be reviewing The Father, but Todd and Zach are. And then after that, we'll talk about our Come to the Stable review that Zach will be left out of. So anyways, it is time for The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman, who hopefully, unless something crazy happens, when you hear this, we'll be talking about Oscar-nominated performances by Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman. Anyways, Zach, I'm going to toss it to you first. Tell us all about The Father and what you thought.
All right. Well, before I get too much into The Father, I want to mention that this is the first movie I've seen in a theater since March of last year. I have my movie ticket. Maybe I'll frame it someday. I don't know. But it's not a movie that's available streaming. I don't know if either of you guys know what the plan is for that. It doesn't seem like it's being released streaming. So basically, I feel like the studio is basically sacrificing its Oscar visibility right down the toilet with that. I'm not sure why this movie isn't being streamed anywhere. But
yeah, I've heard it's had like zero campaign and just kind of making what it's making off of name notoriety.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. So the movie theater I went to is the local art house theater in Lawrence, and I was very nervous at first. I double masked it, but pretty quickly when I went into the theater, it looked pretty empty. I'm around a bunch of 16-year-olds all day, so it's not like what I was doing was more risky, I felt like, than what I normally do. But it was a great experience being back at the movies. I feel pretty good 24 hours later. I'm getting my second vaccine later this week. Let's bring back movies, okay? I'm tired of watching movies streaming. It's nice to pause it and get up and go to the bathroom, but honestly, the movie-going experience can never be replicated, and I deeply worry about the future of especially art house theaters because it just, I don't know, it's sad. I guess we'll see what happens. It's hard to imagine a movie like The Father playing in big AMC theaters, although maybe Todd, you saw it there. Anyway, that experience aside, I don't want to get too much into this because Terry hasn't seen it yet. I want Terry to see it. I want him to see it as blind going into it as I was. I did not see the trailer for this movie going in. I did not know very much about it, and I'm glad I didn't know much about it. All I really have to say is it is a absolutely amazing movie from start to finish. Fantastic. I'm glad I saw it in an art house theater. The theater here in Lawrence is like a little ratty. Like the audio is not great quality. The picture's a little weird. It kind of worked perfect for The Father because The Father is all about the Anthony Hopkins character, who is the father, who is gradually losing his mental awareness. He has dementia. He is rapidly declining. And so the movie is really all about being confused, being in this space of delusions, not being sure quite what is real, what isn't. It was kind of a perfect theatrical experience. I don't think it would work as well at home watching it on Netflix. However, I think you could say that almost about any movie too. So it was just a reminder about how immersive the movie theater experience really is. And for a movie like this, it really works well. I thought about movies like A Beautiful Mind and The Diving Bell and the Butterfly in terms of how just immersive everything was. You felt like you were this character going through the ordeals that he was going through. Again, I don't want to say too much about it, but I felt like the director, Florian Zeller, did an amazing job of giving you just enough to sort of understand what was going on, but leaving you enough in the dark to feel that sense of confusion and frustration. It was a beautiful, very difficult to conceive of balance. It's hard to believe that this movie was a play. I felt like this is tailor-made for the cinematic medium. And it was an astonishing experience. I'm considering this a 2021 movie. I'm giving it 4 stars. If it was on my list for 2020 movies, it would be in my top 3 of the year.
Yeah, I'm right with you on basically everything you said. I I love the movie. I think the play would be pretty amazing to watch, though, because I mean, obviously, the way that's structured and the way it's edited, it fits really well with being a movie. The but to watch that on stage would be crazy. And I think Anthony Hopkins, it's one of the best performances I've ever seen. And I don't know. I don't know how else to really describe it other than that. Like, he makes you feel so deeply, like, it is so deeply empathetic, but it's like structured in a way that for me it reminded me of like Mulholland Drive or something. Like, you really get like you'll see a scene and then you'll come back and then you'll see the scene again, but from a different way, and you could just really see how disillusioned everything is. It really is an amazing movie. I'm not really sure why Olivia Colman's going to get nominated for an Oscar. I think Olivia Williams is a standout supporting performance in the movie, but I mean, obviously, all like 7 characters are really, really great, and of course, Hopkins is just unbelievable. I cannot believe he's not winning Best Actor. He is. I mean, it's his best performance I've seen him give.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a 4-star movie. It's my number 2 of 2020. It's it is absolutely special.
So I did see this week that the BAFTAs gave a lot of love to this movie. However, Olivia Colman was not nominated inexplicably for Best Supporting Actress. Can you explain that?
Well, I mean, they snubbed like a whole bunch of British people. It was, I mean, I think Gary Oldman was not nominated as well, and I can't remember what the other ones were. There were like 4 or 5 that were like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Carey Mulligan not nominated.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how Olivia Colman, that is, the BAFTAs eat that shit up, and she's beloved. She's the queen. I mean, I can't. I mean, but I don't think, I think Olivia Williams is a standout though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole cast is a standout. I think it's sort of, I can understand a little bit how the performances in this movie are amazing. I absolutely agree. It's not like, though, there's like, as good as Anthony Hopkins is, what I'm more impressed with is he doesn't have those like screaming to the heavens moments as much. It's a great performance in sort of an unexpected way.
He's super sarcastic. I did not expect him to be anything like the way he was. I expected to be just a really sad, angry old man. But it's completely unexpected, especially for Hopkins.
Well, and I think the performances, at least for me, that I can see them getting lost a little bit in the concept of the movie. I feel like the movie's concept is maybe more important than the sum of the whole of the individual performances, if that makes sense. So I can understand that. However, if Anthony Hopkins hadn't won an Oscar 30 years ago, absolutely he would win for this movie. And because you got to think, like, you know, it's in the similar territory as Julianne Moore and Still Alice. This is a much better movie than Still Alice, but it is a movie about, I think, someone taking a very serious risk with their performance. I mean, if I were Anthony Hopkins, like as old as he is, this movie to me was almost a horror movie. I like, if you were to categorize it as a genre, I wouldn't call it drama. I would call it horror. It was absolutely like terrifying to watch. And I think the terror is, you know, implicit in Anthony Hopkins taking that much of a risk giving this performance. I don't know how to articulate it, but like, it was actually like a really unsettling movie in a lot of ways too. I was not expecting that either. Still Alice wasn't unsettling. It was just like dramatic, but this movie was like really uncomfortable to watch at times.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's super empathetic, and like, you never see it from that perspective, because like Away From Her or other movies that deal with similar subject matter, they're more. Yeah, and they're not like this. Right. More, I guess that's a good comparison as well.
But Amour is a Haneke movie. This is not a Michael Haneke movie. This movie is just, it's hard to categorize. I don't think I've ever seen a movie quite like it. The closest would be The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, which was about, you know, something entirely different. And this movie doesn't have like first-person subjectivity in that movie, but it has that same sort of, again, immersiveness that I think is crucial to watching in a movie theater. So, Terry, what's the hang-up, man? I mean, it's not like there's a massive disease out there or anything preventing us from going to theaters. Although you've been vaccinated, haven't you? So, like, you need to go see this movie. Anyone who's vaccinated
at an AMC. It's playing at a couple AMCs. I had to drive a bit to get there, but it was. I mean, there were a lot of people there.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, if you feel comfortable taking the risk, and hopefully you've been vaccinated, everybody should go see this movie. It's an amazing movie. I think the Oscar campaign is suffering. Maybe I'm not sure what the studio did, but like, this is definitely a movie that's getting lost in the shuffle, but hopefully will get remembered as one of 2020 or 2021's, great cinematic achievements.